Hello and welcome to my little preview for my calendar package. The goal for this one was to make a simple and flexible system that could be added to any game that is based off of a Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons time cycle. And by that I mean 4 seasons. Um, each season has 1 month of 30 days, and those 4 months make up 1 year. So from the player side, let's take a look. So I'm just going to build it quickly here. So from the gameplay side, this is what the player would see. Just a simple calendar. There is the time up in the corner here. I have it set up to run in the same manner as Harvest Moon. And these arrows you can just cycle through.
Click.
Take a look at the different dates.
Click.
The different pictures for the different events. And
Click.
that's pretty much it. Now these icons, or these dates I should say, have scriptable objects on them that hold information that the developer could use to change things in the
Click.
game. And when I was designing this, the way I thought that this would be displayed on the screen is you'd have this calendar pop up and it would cover the top 2/3 of the screen. And then you'd have a dialog box on the bottom, and you'd read that information from the scriptable object that's on these dates, and then you could write a blurb or take whatever's written there and display it to the player. And that's about it. So it's a very simple, cute little calendar that you could add to any Harvest Moon style game. So let's get into how did I make it. Okay, so to create a calendar, let's start with that. I'll just deactivate all of these. So we have a clean canvas. So to make a new month, all you have to do is go to the prefab section, grab the month, pull into the hierarchy, and boom, you have got a brand new month. And if you want to edit any of the days, let's say we want to edit the first because my picture's there for whatever reason. You can easily click on the image. Let's make a new holiday. So let's make it, I don't know. I've used up my creativity for the day. We're going to call it Ruby Day. Okay, so the first of whatever season I want this to be. So I could go up to the top where the month is and change it to another, let's say spring. Bing, bang, boom, you're done. And you want to add information to that date that the game could read and affect the gameplay. So all you'd have to do is go to your key dates. These are all scriptable objects. Right click, create calendar system, key date, and description will be Ruby Day. And I don't know. Again, I'm feeling very uncreative at the moment. A celebration of gems. I don't know. Whatever. And then you could take some text and place it in there if you liked, and some music if you wanted. I was thinking maybe if the player hovers over it, it would play some kind of music. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to keep it open and flexible, while also trying to keep it as modular as possible. And the reason why I have all these days as children is you could easily write a script to iterate through these children and have the actual time up here affect the calendar, and you can make it do different things. Right now, I don't have them connected. I have an observer design pattern with it, but you could easily add another listener, read in on that information, and affect the calendar. But because one of the goals was to keep this flexible, that's what I tried to focus on. Okay, let's go into the scripts. Okay. as I mentioned, my main goal here is keep it flexible, and I try to do my best with that because my previous work with my partner, it was very rigid, and that was because there wasn't a lot of forethought. And I'm not saying that there's a lot more forethought in this project, but I definitely tried a lot harder. Anyway, so here we have the calendar class, and then we have an enum for the seasons, and I have 4 game objects for the different calendars. And then when it starts, it deactivates everything but the spring calendar, because by default it starts in spring, as Harvest Moon does. Then I have this listener for the clock update. I never ended up using it, but you could use it to read the information from the clock. So then I just have a function here for left arrow click, which basically just deactivates the other seasons except for the one that you want, and vice versa for the right arrow. And then I have in the update, just you press escape to quit and the current season changes. And then I have some functions here to activate and deactivate prefabs. And then I made 4 functions, sorry, to activate the appropriate prefabs for each season. In Time Manager, we have, this is where the clock is. So it doesn't inherit from anywhere, and you have to put system serializable so that it will show up in the inspector. So I have an enum for the days of the week, enum for the seasons, just ints for the year, day, hour, and minute. A constructor, because it doesn't inherit from mono behavior, you need to have a constructor. Then I have a bunch of converting functions. So getting the days of the week so it can show up in on the UI. Then years to days, seasons to days, days to hours, hours to minutes. All of those I need to update the UI. And then there's the update time. So you could change how time works, but because I had Harvest Moon in mind during the design of this whole thing, it'd be very difficult to change this package into a regular 365-day calendar. Not impossible, but it would require significant effort, so I don't recommend it. Anyway, so just the update function increases the minute if it's over 60, if it's over 24, blah, 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 blah. You understand. In the clock manager, we have a singleton, so it is globally accessible. And then I have a list of listeners. Then I have this check if there's more than one instance, then destroy it. If not, it's fine. This timestamp, which actually starts the time. I have a coroutine here that actually can be changed. So this variable length of time, if you go to the editor, you could actually all of it's on this manager game object. You could actually change how quickly the time goes. So length of time. So right now I have it set so that it goes 1 minute for every second. But if I wanted to, just for the sake of argument, I can make it 1000, and then time will go a lot quicker. So that's easy to change. So if you want to make a game that isn't based on 1 second equaling 1 minute, you can easily change it, as you can see right here, and it will work. So that's an option. What else have I not covered here? There's the tick function here. That should be obvious what it does, and register and deregister. Then I have this interface that I use for the listeners. And then this is the script for the UI. Again, I have a singleton here at the top. I check register a listener, and then this is how the clock is actually updated in the UI. So you have all these formatting lines of code, and all I'm doing is just grabbing that information from the time manager the clock manager, and then just forwarding it over. And then I have this day script, and then the key dates scriptable object. Now, all of this can be easily expanded. It just really depends on what you want to do with your game. And one of the things I found most difficult about this exercise was because it's so open-ended and we don't really know how it will be used in a video game. I found it difficult on what to include and what not to include. Again, it's a tricky balance of flexibility and stability and high fidelity. So I'm trying to strike some sort of balance in the middle. Whether it succeeded or not, that's up for interpretation. So that was my rationale behind these decisions that I made for the design. And that's it. This is my project, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a happy holiday. Thanks again.